call the Hubbardston Library Trustee meeting to order. Can everybody hear me?
Mm-hmm.
Are we in good spacing? All right. So, starting with the approval of our January 8th minutes. Did everybody have a chance to review those? And is there any discussion on the minutes? And Krista, once again, thank you. We do have an agenda item to kind of go over, so keeping in mind, and I appreciate your clarity of minutes, of how to streamline the agenda and be efficient. But if there's no further discussion or any edits, amendments to the minutes, I'll make a motion to approve the January 8th minutes. Do I have a second?
Second.
Second. All in favor?
You were absent, so
it's going to be 3, and then I would assume we...
301. 301.
Okay. And then I was just wondering, do we indicate the other two? We're just indicating they're absent. I'm sorry.
You'll put that in the minutes.
Yep.
Yeah. I'm sorry.
No problem.
I'll wake up tonight.
So, Chris, you did have a comment that I fixed it in the minutes. I think I have to get better about this. I think I just put Chris and then I put the wrong initial, or I didn't put the initial for something. I think that's what it was.
Yeah.
Did you
and
correct the
I think-
minutes like tonight, or was it?
No,
okay.
it was earlier.
We got it straightened out.
Because
Yeah.
I didn't notice, so maybe it was after the edit. Chris B.,
Yes.
Director's Report?
Yes. All right, Director's Report for January 2026. We had 0 curbside pickups, 313 patrons. We had 8 classes with 9 visits for a total of 171 students. Storytime attendees, we had 42 adults, 60 children for a total attendance of 102. Storytime events in January was 4, including 1 Saturday. Dungeons and Dragons had 2 events with 8 attendees. We had 2 volunteers with 4 visits for the total of 16 hours for the month. Not Just Knitting had 2 events with 8 attendees. Senior Book Club had 5 attendees, and the Monday Book Club has also had 5 attendees, which actually got rescheduled to Wednesday because of the storm. Boy Scout visits, we had 2 with a total of 18 attendees, and we issued 2 new cards. For Facebook viewers in January, we had 7,410. We have, for page followers, 1,117. Facebook page visits, 737.
I'm
Okay.
sorry, the chair was like moving on its own, so I was
Oh,
trying to... Sorry.
No problem. Everything's good. Facebook views, we had 30,682, which comprised of 31.3% followers, 68.7% non. Instagram page reach in January was 45. Instagram followers in January was 213. Instagram profile visits in January was 11. For Instagram views, we had 267, of which 82% were followers and 18% were non-followers. Most popular Facebook posts, number 1 was January is Mentor Month with 4,908, followed by number 2 with Launching Books and Buddies at 1,505. Wi-Fi connections remained steady at 29. Website visits in January was 446, but US views are listed as 281. Bot visits from China is 105, which continues to drop. There are no more visits from Singapore, so Google's algorithms seem to be adapting well. Library numbers. Hubbardston items circulated regardless of location, 1,618. All items circulated at Hubbardston regardless of ownership, 1,728. Requested holds, 206. Total number of patrons registered at Hubbardston, 1,491. Total number of items in January was 11,593. Overdrive monthly checkouts for January was 923. Holds on Overdrive, e-audio was 154, e-book was 186, for a total of 340 holds. Excuse me. The library was closed on Thursday, January 1st for New Year's Day, Wednesday, January 7th for ICE, Monday, January 15th for Martin Luther King Day, and January 26th due to the weather. The library will close on Monday, February 16th for President's Day. We offered table space to Hannah and Jess from LUK to advertise that January is Mentor Month. They spoke with a number of our patrons and 2 seemed interested. We hope to invite them again next year. The Senior Book Club met on Wednesday, January 28th, and discussed The Hobbit by J.R.R. Tolkien. The next Senior Book Club meeting will be held on February 25th at 11 a.m. at the Senior Center in the Slade Building at 7 Main Street, where they will discuss The Never Game by Jeffrey Deaver. The January displays for the Adult Reading Room and the Children's Reading Room focused on winter. The February display will highlight Black History Month and Valentine's Day in the Adult and Children's Room. The heater in the handicap bathroom is broken. I am reaching out to our electrician to replace it. It's going to take about a week to get it because the one that's in there is now defunct and they need a new updated one, which is not in stock.
This is downstairs, right?
Yes, downstairs. We also developed a leak in the boiler room. I turned off the water and called Royal Steam. They came and fixed the leaks. They thought it was due to the extensive extreme cold weather we have been having. They recommended putting fiberglass insulation in the window the boiler uses for air intake. This will slow the cold air from coming in without completely blocking off the air. I have also placed one of the oil-filled heaters in the boiler room, set at a low heat to help keep the temperature up to prevent freezing pipes. We will turn it off during the day. Respectfully submitted by Christine Barbera. The third page is the financial report, which again is estimated. And so anything that's in red is based off of what I believe we have. So until they finally finish FY25 and can give us budget versus actual for FY26, this is all based on what I think it is. So take that with a grain of salt.
So the numbers in red are balanced?
Estimated. Yeah, because I just don't know.
Oh, I see.
They're based on what I calculated as what I have paid out in the services account or the supplies account, all of that. And I can't verify the beginning of the state account or the donation account because they haven't closed out FY25 yet. The last 3 pages are the reports that show the most, first one is where the website, how many people went to what pages. Obviously the main page gets the biggest hit with I think 479, and then it progresses down to 0 for various pages. The second one is user acquisition for primary group. Was it direct, which is 284. Then organic search is 156, and then drops down with referral and organic social, closing it out. The last one is the demographic details of countries that have come to visit our webpage.
Do you want to just mention the Murray quote? Do you want me to read it? Well,
Oh, gosh, I totally forgot about that. I assume everybody received the quote for the brick pointing, a little bit more than I was anticipating. I think it was like either $43,000 or $49,000.
49.8.
Yeah, and I'm pretty sure that, where's my financials? My goodness. I'll
Yeah.
find it. The CPC library brick repair account has $14,000 in it,
Yeah.
so.
So we can enter that in to our minutes. It gives us a great idea.
Yep.
But likewise, it would be in our best interest to receive a couple more quotes and then put out a request for proposal based on those. Yeah.
So we'll seek additional quotes.
To give us at least an idea and then to have an idea. But yeah.
Is there an option with Murray Mason to itemize it that we can bid for $14,000 we can get this
Okay.
versus the $50,000? Is there a way to kind of scale it down a bit so we can get some done, and then maybe it could be a future CPA or some other
Possible.
possibility,
look
but
at
they figure out like,
different funding.
what can we get for $15,000
Mhm.
versus 50?
Or how can we prioritize the work
Right.
that I was thinking like prioritizing within theirs of,
Their estimate is not very descriptive. You
No.
know, they don't really tell
break
you
it
how
down.
much each thing costs.
Right.
And I think part of the issue is that the equipment is expensive, right?
Mhm.
So, and but we don't know how much that is. So I think I like what you just said, but I think we also need them to give us a little better idea
Yeah.
of what the costs are for.
Yeah, it would be nice if like for each line item they had, if they had the cost associated with it.
Yeah. Because we can't really tell anything from this
Mhm.
in terms of how we can scale it back.
My suspicion is they did that because they added them up. So all we want is their backup sheet.
So can we request more detailed estimate?
Yeah, I can reach out to him.
Maybe with, like, I don't know, should you tell them how much money we have to spend? Probably not.
I never mind just being upfront, this is what we have.
Well, for now, this is what we have.
For now, this
Yeah.
is what we have, what can
Yeah.
you do with that? I mean, basically, given that it's 50,000, like, they can, I know that's not, I know people would say, like,
Well-
then they're gonna say, like, we can do, like, they'll jack up the price or whatever, but I don't know. I mean,
You want them to identify the critical things,
and
that if you don't address them,
I mean-
something falls apart.
per their quote too, it is accounting for just like 10% of the building being repointed. And that, I was like, when I read that, and I'm like, okay, this is for 10% of the building. But again, I'm not into masonry, I'm not
Mhm.
familiar. And I guess it just shows. But yeah. Is there any other discussion with regards to the quote from Murray Masonry? No. Are there any comments, reports from library staff that we should be aware of? Or-
Not at this time.
Okay. And then, just giving you an opportunity, do you have any comments that you want? We already
Yes, I'd
approved
like
the
to
minutes.
apologize for not being here very much.
Timely.
I'm sorry. Had a lot going on and I couldn't make it to the last two meetings.
We're grateful to see you. Glad you could make it this evening.
Grateful might not be the word, but
We're glad to see you.
Should I mark Tom as abstaining on the minutes also?
Yes.
Okay, because I'm not sure.
Yeah.
likewise on the December minutes.
Yeah, well,
Yeah,
we-
you
yeah.
were absent, but yeah. The calendar for this month has us discussing the scholarship, which is part of the working group, and also the policies, which we'll get to later. So I would just have that as a standing item, and then I was just going to move on. And this is where I added into the agenda, and I'm not sure how I feel, to be quite honest, with having the headers of new business and old business, because I think things do blend, but we're trying to, and I'm trying to take feedback received with regards to the agenda to be more streamlined and less jumping around. And I've, in the past, tried to keep the newer items. So with that being said, moving from calendar, I'd like to move down to the library town report draft number 2. And if there's discussion on it, I tried to kind of review changes between the two, and it just looked really like polishing of the draft. I didn't see any noteworthy changes. Is there further discussion with regards to the library town report draft? And did trustees get an opportunity to discuss it? So I was trying to do side by side, and the only thing that I noticed as far as a change that I did have a question on was, I think it was summer reading, there was a change from 5 to 7, I think, for prizes, and I just wanted to make sure that that was correct.
It was 7, because
Okay.
I had gotten that incorrect, because they're
So,
Lego sets,
Yeah.
Amazon, Target, Walmart, Barnes and Noble, Hubbardston Pizza Palace, and Stars and Stripes
yeah.
were the 7 prizes.
So to be quite honest, like, I was trying to see where were they different,
Mhm.
and I'm like, otherwise, other than a few, like, it looked like it was polished and edited
Mhm.
a little bit,
I
but
tried.
but I mean, it just it didn't change the content.
Right.
So I was looking for content, and that was the only thing that like stood out content wise that changed. But otherwise, it was just editing, polishing.
Yep.
Chris had put in the mission statement from our strategic plan, and I just was looking at our strategic plan just to make sure, you know, it was like the same thing, because, you know, before we had a couple different places. But there's a very obvious typo in our actual strategic plan. So it's just like one word, I forget what it was, but it's just like a typo. So I don't know if we need to bring that back, or if we, I mean, I didn't come prepared at this meeting.
Does
but-
it change the meaning or the
No.
content?
No,
Then I
the
would
sentence,
say,
the grammar of the sentence is just, like we made an edit and we just didn't clean it up.
So hopefully when I do my first read, which I've been very
Yeah.
late in doing, I'll just make that change.
Yeah, you're right, it
Yeah.
should be in there too.
Yep.
Yeah, okay,
So,
great, okay.
yeah.
I can.
But I mean, that was one of the reasons for this, the draft, a second draft, was because that needed to be changed. And
Yeah.
it wasn't Chris's error, it was our error in the strategic plan.
I think the other content wise is we started listing our meeting like the first Thursday. So I was like looking what
Mhm.
changes. So that addition I noticed, but
Yeah.
I didn't. It was like, oh, I didn't even. That was one. Oh, we didn't have that before. Okay.
Well, so here, my thought was that different committees also submit annual reports. And I didn't know if you guys wanted to do your own report, or if you wanted to just combine the library report with the trustee report. And I figured if we're gonna do that, we should put when you guys meet. Another possibility, I don't know if you guys are interested or not, I think that they already address who the trustees are in another section. I could certainly put that in as well.
Yeah.
But, you know, it's already, like I said, it's already addressed in another part of the town report, so.
Yeah.
Do you guys have a preference?
Combo.
So, oh, okay.
So-
Yep. Cool.
So by combo, do you mean include it as well?
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. All right.
And just your,
Yep.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, I definitely think library and trustees should be just one report, you
Okay.
know, for kind of
Cool.
one entity.
So that's the way it reads now?
Yes.
Yeah, great.
As to whether trustees should be listed in this report, like in this section, I don't know, I go back and forth on it because it's redundant. But then if somebody just goes to the trustee or to the library part.
And to look
to
for
look,
it and
then
it's not there.
You know, they may not go to the other parts. So I can see the pros and cons of either side of that, so.
I feel very similarly. Show of hands of other trustees in favor of having it, as opposed to not including it.
The names,
Yep.
you're saying? If it's, is it a huge report, the town report?
Yeah. It's, let's see. Go ahead.
I mean, could you have something towards the end of the document where you have a list of library staff, library trustees?
Yep, I could do that.
you
Let's
know?
do that.
So we're doing,
That's a good
you know,
idea.
we have
Together,
both,
yeah.
you know?
Yeah.
Okay.
That's a good idea.
Yeah, the annual report is actually on the town website. And if you just type in search for annual reports, it'll send you that page. And the most recent one has a picture of a little raccoon staring out at you. And I will tell you how many pages are in this. 169 pages for the annual town report.
So it probably doesn't hurt to have it. I mean, good, I think if we list staff and trustees, I think that feels better than just listing trustees.
Yeah.
You know,
I
having
agree.
a list of the comprehensive group.
Alright, let me get my notes.
And I just have to, and I can't see it that well, like on my screen. Is there a photo that's upside down?
Really?
The Dottie,
Oh, yeah.
Did I really do that? I'm embarrassed now.
it's,
Can't see it either.
I think it's the Dottie point, maybe the Dottie. I don't know, it feels like it's the second image on the report.
I don't think that is increasing the page.
Yeah, it is backwards.
It's backwards
why
or
is it
flipped or
backwards?
something, like if there's something with it that's,
I was trying, but I can't blow it up on
All
my
right,
computer
I'll
anymore.
replace that because,
I can't. I was trying.
you're right, that it's
Yeah.
reversed.
This is.
there's something with it.
this is-
It's
There
either-
is something with it.
It's either
Okay.
reversed
I'm
or
really
flipped.
surprised.
I can do
if
smaller.
I can fix that.
I just
Oh,
can't do
can't
larger.
you do bigger?
Because this is the extent that I can get, but I can make it super tiny. It's not very helpful. I know.
But everything else,
That's
like all the other
largest
images
we'll
look
go.
good, so.
Cool.
It's not large.
But I did.
Got it.
Oh, no, I didn't.
There it is.
Oh, so it's just mirrored, a mirror.
It looks like it's right side up. No? It's a flopped.
Yep.
Nice eye. I just assumed it was The Rock and thought it was supposed to be like that. I actually thought it said Dottie, so, and it does, but, right? Maybe it doesn't.
I think it does
What
say
says
Dottie,
now.
yeah.
Oh, I'm sorry, it's upside down. I mean, it's flopped
Something.
the other way.
All right. So, other discussion with regards to the town report? Okay. Similarly, just a suggestion to include and have accessible was the review action items, and if trustees want to take an opportunity to discuss action and/or updates or have questions about where we stand with regards to those. So I wanted to open it up for discussion. This also goes into the formatting of, do you like having that on the agenda? So I'm going to take feedback with regards to the agenda too.
I'd like to be shamed into doing work.
So
I
is
like
that,
being
Well,
reminded.
but they are.
Or
in the-
reminded, yeah.
They are in the
It's a
minutes.
they
Right,
are.
yeah.
I mean, and they could be,
So that was the question, should we also have it standing so it's available on the agenda for like discussion of where we're at? So I was like, I'm happy to include it and then ask and see where you guys stand.
I think it's
I like
fine to
it.
discuss it, but can I just say about the agenda? I was looking at other models, and like the select board has the new business and the old business, and I think like the action items would be under old business because they're, they're
So
follow-up.
the reason why they're in this format or on
Mhm.
this one is because they haven't existed in ours previously though.
That's right.
Oh, I see, so the
There's new business
agenda
to
item is
discuss-
to discuss it,
discuss
I
before you
get it,
want
I get
action
it,
items.
okay, okay.
So new business would be something, and this is where for us, I don't particularly like having new business versus old business / ongoing, is that new business should be reserved for something that has not been introduced to the trustees before. Whereas ongoing or old business would be stuff, even if it's a working group, that might have something new to announce, that would go under the old / ongoing. And I don't think, I think it's kind of redundant. I added it to the agenda, but I don't think that new business or old ongoing business belong. But-
I see your point, and I think it's fine, but the whole reason I was trying to work on this is that, especially at the last meeting, we discussed things in like 3 different places. So I was just trying to figure out how can we, keep the discussion together. And it doesn't really matter because there's just like a kind of a recording of what we said, but it's a little bit confusing, I think. So maybe new business and old business isn't the way to handle that. And the action items, I think we should look at them, but I don't know where the right place is, because if we do it just as a whole group, then the discussion is about those action items separate from what they're about. You know what I mean? Like if we discuss the action items now, then, and then later we talk about the point of the action item, then it gets a little bit confusing.
So, what I'm hearing, and to kind of keep on, and we've kind of bled into the very next topic of review
Sorry.
agenda, is the review action items is something that we would like to have in the agenda, but perhaps the formatting and going into our next agenda, and I think we can lead right into that, is review action items may be something that we want to have towards the end. So if anything has not been covered before, it would be covered in the agenda under the review action items, and just an opportunity of, hey, where do we stand on these? So having it, but having it at the bottom, does that sound appropriate?
Yep, checklist.
Okay.
Like review any unaddressed action items.
Yeah.
So that leads us right into the very next bullet, which is a discussion of the agenda formatting and getting feedback from the last 6 months or so of, hey, there have been some changes to the format of our meetings. I'm personally in favor of having our meetings start with minutes. It's how I'm familiar with other meetings, of starting with minutes and then going into the director's reports. If you want to go back to the other format of having director reports first, or if there's any other changes to the formatting of the agenda. And Maria had a little bit of feedback, but Krista, you had feedback actually. And they were both along the same lines of, like, I think especially in our January meeting, we were bouncing. So if there's feedback in which we could have a more streamlined meeting.
The working groups, I think, are really good. I mean, I think it's good that we're doing that, and but maybe I think that was part of the issue, was the working groups are working on things that are listed elsewhere in the agenda. So I was just trying to figure out if there was a way we could, you know, just have it be like the working group presents about the CPC grant or something like that, versus it being under working group and the financial things. You know, I mean, it's going to happen sometimes anyway, but maybe we should rethink the way, like, instead of listing things under the working groups, list them under the topic, maybe.
And primarily that fund falls under like the financial for trusts, town awarded funds and or grants.
Yeah.
So-
And some of these things could be standing items, like policy could be a standing item on the agenda. You know, the things that the working groups do.
So that's the idea of having the working groups, is that they are standing items. And if they don't have, very similar to the review item actions, is if we have things that are standard that we have monthly, in case there are reports from the working group or standing item actions that we have, similar to having, we have listed the library staff report. There was nothing this evening, but it's available should a report come. So as we get through this evening, and maybe we can circle back to this of how tonight's meeting goes, let's kind of digest the format of our meetings and see, in particular, Chris's advice and suggestions with regards to like CPC grants, but then later in financials. I'm not sure how and where to put those while still respecting like the working group reports. Unless there's any other feedback on the agenda format specifically before we move on. So hearing none, this is kind of just making sure, is there any update with regards to the ceiling damage? Would it be covered by insurance? And is there any further damage given the incident on Monday?
I didn't take pictures of the first time that it happened, so I don't have any evidence outside of the bracket that's on the pipe that we had the leak there. The second time I did take pictures, so I will have to reach out to whoever is going to be the new executive assistant or the town administrator, interim town administrator, to find out how that is handled. I have not heard anything about the mold remediation claim, so I have nothing on that as well.
There is a draft, a working draft of a possible town warrant. Very much working draft, and if anybody has had the opportunity to review that or would like a chance to review that, your thoughts on it?
I'm sorry, I didn't realize that was a link, so I didn't have a chance to look at it.
When's the warrant closed?
I don't know that's open yet.
Where did this come from?
The town warrant,
Uh-huh.
it's just a working draft that I literally had trying between January like 20th and now.
Wow. Okay, thank you.
And I edited a few things today as far as the explanation. One of my thoughts in it was to include the actual numbers of attendees for story time and for library visits from classrooms. And it's not saying that we have to proceed with it, but it's to try to address feedback that the trustees have received and seeing how you guys feel about that. So, I don't know with regards to, I don't even know that call has been made for town warrants.
Chris,
Yes.
school visits don't happen during open library hours, or do they?
Correct. No,
Okay.
I make it a point to, we are
Okay.
closed because they have separate security, so
Okay.
they come in, I close the door behind them, it's locked.
Okay.
Can we review this and discuss it more next time?
We can table it, a table discussion until next meeting. Sounds great to me. I was trying to look up real quick a date, but I don't have a date for town warrant, so I will look.
I think it's all the way out March 15th or so.
Hmm. Can I just ask, it says right above the town warrant, new items not reasonably anticipated by the chair, pipe issue Monday.
So-
Are we discussing that, or?
That was just part of it, is if there was anything added to the ceiling damage, including,
So the pipe issue is the ceiling damage, or the
so if-
boiler pipe?
so with existing damage that I'm going to group under the extreme cold and with pipes, there was an additional issue just this past Monday. So rather than having it separate, I was just kind of grouping it. So, did the email go out to all the trustees or to me?
Just to you.
Oh, okay. Hey, guys.
Well, I
there's
know about the
an
pipe
issue
bursting
Monday.
on the furnace, so I'm wondering if that's what this is, or if this is the ceiling.
So,
Okay, so is that what we're talking about now?
yeah.
All right, so Saturday morning, Ann called me up and said, hey, we got water pouring in the boiler room. So I went in and there was a pinhole leak in a corner of a pipe that was spraying. And then there was this other pipe that was wide open and water was just pouring down out of it. So I contacted Royal Steam, said, hey, we got water in our boiler room, we need some help. And they came and they fixed the leaks that were caused by what they say was extreme cold. And the other issue where the water was pouring out, there is a mechanism that is supposed to shut the water off, and that broke. And the way, in order for it to not flood the boiler, it was pouring down out of this pipe. And it probably worked great when they had the old boiler, but the new one had the water pouring right on top of another pipe coming out of the boiler. So I did manage to find the off switch for the water, so that was good. We shut that off, got the water stopped from causing any more damage, and the gentleman came in from Royal Steam and fixed the issues, found another couple leaks, and recommended that I use fiberglass in the air intake window, because you need it for the boiler to have air so that it'll work. But we can slow it down because of we've had such a long cold spell at night that he thinks that that was caused by the cold. So that was fixed. And then on Monday, I got a call from Mel, the town clerk, who has to come into the lower level, and said that there was a leak over the door just to the right as you're exiting it. So I went back in and called Royal Steam again, and they came and they put a bracket around that pipe, which is the same area. A couple weeks ago we had a leak, and they put brackets around the pipe so that we can get them fixed later and not have to shut the whole heating system down. So they're going to wait until it's warmer and then start replacing these pipes. And in looking back, the heating system was initially installed back in 1929. So I don't know how old these pipes are. You know, they could be they don't have what do you call it, an expiration date on pipes, but they are getting old and they're probably wearing out. And so they'll again come back in the spring and try to fix those pipes and have that addressed. And because that wasn't enough, the gentleman that came in on Monday realized that our water reservoir, which has a float in it which turns off the water from coming in, is broke. And he managed to jury rig it to stay stable for a couple days until the part comes in to get that replaced. We don't need the whole reservoir, we just need the electrical box and the float itself. So I think that is it for any other water-related, heating-related issues in the library, aside from the bathroom heater not working, which I have, an electrician has ordered a replacement heater to replace that one for the bathroom. I think that's it.
It sounds like it's going to be expensive. A lot of unanticipated expenses. coming
Yep.
down
And the
pipe.
boiler is new,
So-
it's just all this
It's
stuff
not the
that's
boiler,
connected to it.
Exactly, the
Yeah.
boiler is fine, it's
Mhm.
it's all of the accessory stuff that is having issues, so.
A little domino effect.
Yeah. I think just from my perspective is I think we need to keep all this in mind as we think about other renovations or expenses that we want to take on, because, we have limited funds in our trust accounts, that
Yes.
we have to prioritize.
And we likewise don't want to start things and have it be for naught with, I don't want to mess with pipes and water in the basement, in the
No,
lower
that
level.
feels like that's a
Well,
priority.
I did reach out to Royal Steam and indicated that we are doing renovations down in the basement, at a lower level, my apologies, and that we would like to have somebody come in and just look at the pipes to make sure that we're not going to totally ruin everything that we want to do, so.
And I think we're gonna have to include the infrastructure in any future grants. Like, we were just thinking we can just, do the not cosmetic, but,
Yeah.
the ceiling and the things people see. But I think we're gonna have to really make sure we don't just cover up the problems.
So
Main-
I do apologize that I missed the opportunity during that discussion on the ceiling, sorry.
No, it's fine, I just was, if it's on the agenda, I'm supposed to write something, that's all.
Is there a man I could talk to about why the pipes are failing?
Yes.
The
I
idea
will
that
give
it's
you that
very cold
information.
is not, that's not really a reason. Corrosion, erosion.
I think the previous discussion as well is that these pipes have been painted over so that they look in a certain condition, but that might be not the actual condition of them.
There's ultrasonic, there's non-destructive testing you can do to measure the thickness to see if it's corroded or what the problem is.
Okay.
If you find corrosion, it's kind of like a deadly disease for the whole thing.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
If you find somebody snapped a pipe, then that's not everything.
Right.
That's just that one pipe. Anytime, just give me a
You want
buzz.
to walk over when Royal Steam's there? Okay, to visit?
Well,
Or drive?
if it's the right guy. Chris will tell me, and I'll just make one phone call, if you don't mind.
I'd love that.
Was that an action item?
No.
No.
So we had a standing item of consideration for requests for policies. I am going to table that based on some feedback received from the town until further notice. Okay? Yeah. CPC grants update.
Okay. I don't know how much time we want to spend on this, but I can tell you that I did get some additional estimates from 4 other companies that make these story walk signs. And I could just pass this around. This is just from one of them. But the main thing is whether we get the sign with the post, like already attached. I have a lot of pictures here, but you know, they come like already made versus they come ready to be put onto a wooden post. And for the grant, I just did a really quick estimate, and the post could cost somewhere around $200. But, you know, then somebody has to put it all together, and, you know, and for any of them, they have to be put into the ground in a way that's, you know, going to be, you know, secure. So I can send this out. I just wasn't sure whether, you know, everyone wanted to review the whole thing about the grant, or whether we wanted to have like a couple people working on it. And obviously we want to include, you know, the staff and Tricia. The ones she made were great, you know, and some of these look kind of like that. They're just straight versus some of them are like tilted. Some of them like flip up, you know, there's just different options.
I see that.
That at some point, you know, we need to say, this is what we're asking for. The estimate we had, it went up $200. And then some of these other companies are around the same price. One of them is like 2 or 3 times more, but they're like fancier signs, you know, so, anyway.
And the committee wasn't needing this information, you know, several bids. They just said it's customary to have that. They were enthusiastic about what was submitted and wanted to give it the green light as is.
Oh, okay.
But they just said out of, I guess,
Standard
it's just
practice.
customary.
Standard practice, yeah.
Yeah, best practice.
Well, and it did need to be updated because that one had expired.
Yeah, and to get that last estimate that was
Yeah.
just,
Yeah.
So we should, with those that we have in the update, be able to include an update.
But the amount is going to be
More.
very different. I mean, we kind of ran into that problem with the other grant, because I just added up all the bids we had, and that's what we asked for, because I thought we had to do it that way. And that just means we're very limited. Like, you know, when Tricia's here, she can say, oh, yes, you know, Monty Tech can do this and somebody can do that, and, you know, but we don't know that when we're writing the grant. So we don't want to not ask for enough money to actually do it. So it's just a little bit more complicated. well, the easy way would just be to put in the current bid and one other, you know, but I'm not sure if that's the best
How
way
many
to do it.
bids do we have at this point? I thought we had a few.
6.
Yeah.
Well, you didn't need that many, but that's,
Well, I didn't
But-
know who was going to get back to me, so I
Right.
just sent out, you know.
Does,
But we could provide the information that we have, just to include, with
Yeah,
the intent going.
But we need a total, like, they want to know how much it's going to cost, and that's where some decisions have to be made, so.
And it would seem fitting to have kind of a lead of being with the library director, I would assume with Trish. And I apologize, I don't know who started the story walk. Were you who was the lead on the story walk?
Yeah,
right?
I put in the
So if
the
you would
draft.
like to take the lead on that
Yeah.
with them.
So I don't know when they meet, I know it's in March. I don't know if it's
would
after,
think I
I'll
would
find
know,
out if
but
it's
I
after
don't.
our meeting, but, you know, basically, the idea will be the same, what would change is how much we're asking for.
Mhm.
So, you know, if it's okay to meet with the people that, you know, that matter about this, and just, you know, resubmit it, probably for asking for more money.
Exactly.
Because, you know,
Yeah.
some of the costs
so
will be more.
you could ask for, you know, whatever, you lay here for like the actual cost of the signage, and then maybe add in an extra like $3,000 for installation or something like that?
Yeah.
And have that be like an estimated amount, or?
You asked for 5,947.
Yeah, oh, here it is. I asked for the cost of the signs, and then $300 would be for the posts and the concrete, and then the books, and then the lamination. So, you know, all of those things added up to less than $6,000. So it's going to be more, but the question is, you know, do we want it, like, you can get these panels where it says public library, or
Bless you.
money
Thank you.
donated by, or, you know, paid for by the CPC, or, you know, whatever, you know, so those are options. Those don't cost all that much, like maybe $30 or $40 a post.
I mean, I feel like we're putting money in for it, we might ask for something like nice.
Nicer, yeah, yeah.
And one thing you just mentioned about the books, is there like a copyright fee that we have to pay in order to publish those, to reproduce those books?
Yeah,
No.
Or are they in the copyright, or are they in public domain, or, like, I'm just, like, I know Tricia got permission before from the author, but like, to do it for free, but I guess you were, a publishing company might be like, no, you can't reproduce for, I mean, you were gonna say
There's
something.
companies that sell the books.
Yeah.
Okay.
For
okay.
this purpose,
Okay,
because they're
gotcha.
kind of, they have to be a certain size.
Okay.
To fit into the frame. Is that what you were gonna say?
yes.
Okay, sorry.
No, that's okay. You had a question, and I was gonna answer it, but Krista answered it, so you got the answer.
But I think, you know, agreements can be made with
Okay.
individual authors as
Okay,
well.
gotcha.
Yeah.
Okay.
I think that would be the appropriate approach of meeting with the library staff, redrafting it, depending on when their meeting is, and not to jump ahead, we're slated to try to meet the 5th of March, so if there was an update before this,
I think theirs is
We
after
could.
that. I'll look it up. But does anyone else want to be part of this? I mean, I just took it on thanks to your suggestion a few months ago about,
I'll be glad to cut posts or whatever you need to do.
okay. Okay. But I mean, as far as the proposal,
The actual-
does anybody want to get in on that, or are we okay with, you know, basically, the write-up will be the same, it's just what we're
I
actually
think it's
asking
just
for.
updating it.
Yeah,
Yeah.
okay.
Yeah.
So we're okay with that?
Yep.
Okay.
Anything further on that?
No, it'll just be, we'll submit it before, I talked to the chair, and she said as long as it gets to us before our next meeting, which is sometime in March.
I have on the agenda, but I don't think it needed to be there. And it was under CPC grant, but I don't think it should be there. It's just, could you revise and resubmit it, but that doesn't need to be on the agenda. There's nothing further to comment, correct?
I don't know what it is.
Yeah, so that can actually be removed.
Okay.
because you all love meeting so much, moving into the working group reports, what I would like to do for the library policies is just to set a date at tonight's meeting to set up, if the trustees are open to a virtual meeting, let's continue with the virtual format for the library comprehensive policy. It's been edited, or it's in the process of being edited and groomed and fine-tuned. I'd like to do so if the trustees are open prior to our March meeting. If you know your preferred dates and times.
Should we be pouring a lot of time and effort into it before legal counsel looks at it?
I would like for the trustees to have thoroughly read it, ready for discussion, and come with any comments, red pen marks, things like that.
But what I meant was, should we be putting a lot of effort into it if a lawyer's going to revise it?
No. Let me say. Advice is to hold indefinitely the lawyer,
Oh, okay.
okay?
Good.
What was that?
We're going to proceed with the policies as trustees with guidance from Mass, MBLC, and otherwise, and other comments without further legal advice.
Period.
Yeah.
It is up to the trustees by Mass law to establish, review, revise the bylaws.
Oh,
Okay?
good.
If we are pushed to do so, we will bring that in, okay?
So our goal is to meet to finalize our review, and then we might even vote on them at the
Yes.
March meeting.
The other thing is to keep in mind trustee funds, especially with other pressing considerations of where we may want to spend money, knowing that we really will have to address some expenditures soon. We don't necessarily have to, and there's a less expensive way to ask them to, and I don't know the wording that was given to us, but we could be looking in the thousands just to have them peruse it without having a real hard, and then going even further. So it would be an investment of trustee money into something that we would not, and we do not necessarily have to do. So I don't feel like it is the fiscally responsible method to take.
Good. Agree.
And then also understanding the comprehensive policies, we vote those in, we almost immediately, we revise them now. We're going to be working on new ones, but also going back and revising them. And the language of those it's a living document. So if we, for instance, find something that there was a typo with like the strategic plan, the comprehensive policies, we vote them in. The next meeting, we can edit them again, and we can vote those changes in. It's not we're not carving this into stone. It's a living document, and it will be, and should be reviewed and edited regularly. So we do not want to fall into the trap of each time, likewise, hey, what do you think of this legal? So that is how I'm taking that advice.
Agreed.
Is there a week looking at like the end of the week of the 16th through the 20th, or the 23rd through the 27th that would work better for trustees?
When's the first day of spring?
March 21st?
I can't do the 19th.
Okay.
So I know a lot of times we meet on a Thursday, but
Mhm.
that Thursday I can't do.
I'm pretty open.
I'm pretty open. Work around someone's constraints.
Would Thursday, the 26th work?
Works for me.
Do you guys like the 7 o'clock? And do you like virtual? Would you, Crispy, be able to get the link?
Yep.
Thank you very much.
So we're meeting on the 26th, February 26th.
Is that a comfortable timeline?
Yeah, I'm gonna sit down this weekend and just do it, so.
Well, it's a big burden. Although I guess we have to read it anyway.
Yeah. Are there updates to the scholarship? And we have access to the email?
Yes.
Yes, but we've been using the trustees' email as the contact information.
Okay.
Although I think on one Facebook post, we had the
I
scholarship.
edited that.
Oh, you did? Oh,
I
you're so
edited
good,
that,
thank
so-
you.
Okay.
Yeah, Chris and I decided that it's just easier to have everything go through trustees as opposed to having different email accounts.
Sounds good to me.
Did you see the town announcement about the scholarship? Okay, because I got
No.
kicked off. I accidentally
You got
removed myself from the
blackballed.
news list, and so I just got myself back onto it, so I wasn't sure. I mean, Mel told me she sent it out, but I wasn't sure if people saw it.
From the town?
Yeah.
As an announcement? No. Maybe it's
I
my
got
junk mail.
several emails from the town, and then I saw it on the digital sign.
Oh, it's on the digital sign already?
Yeah.
Okay. Because I asked them to put it on the 15th, just to kind of space it
Oh.
out, but I guess they put it on
Fantastic.
now, so.
And they'll
then
take it off when?
I asked them to take it off March 2nd,
Okay.
because applications were due the 1st, so I asked them to remove it then. So it's on Facebook, it's on the library website, it's to the schools.
Mhm.
I probably will share it to Hubbardston people here shortly. I didn't want to like do it one big, like everything coming out at the same time. I kind of wanted to stagger it a bit. And then, I don't know, so we don't have any applicants yet, but I don't expect to get any until like February
11th hour?
28th, you know?
The only school that said they don't have any
Seniors.
Hubbardston residents eligible was Sizer. But the others,
Parker had. a
and they
senior?
were very enthusiastic about getting the material.
Yeah.
It seemed easy.
The Hen also put out their announcement.
Yep, they did.
So
Yeah,
the
their
applications are
deadline
due
is
March
late.
1st.
They do
Okay.
March 1st, yeah.
Theirs is April 26th.
April
the
26th,
country.
March 31st.
Seemed
I
late.
feel like I just
I
deleted
think I
it.
still have it.
I think I just deleted the email earlier today. So, you know,
Thank you.
Thank you.
it's coming along,
Yeah.
so.
And we were going to send out a reminder mid-February
Mhm.
to the schools and.
To the schools and like maybe do a repost on Facebook and just kind of.
Do we put flyers anywhere, like in the library desk or,
No, we
The
can put it on
diner
our digital display, we can put it on
Okay.
that. We have found that, we used to have a 3-ring binder with assorted flyers, which nobody looked at, so it really didn't work. So now we have the digital display, and every few seconds it shifts through
okay,
various things. I'll make sure that Ann put that in there.
thank you.
I used to put up a flyer on in the Pizza Hut, in the
We could do the post office.
post office, and a couple stores.
Hubbard's
And we
one
also
stop.
used to hang up paper copies of the application. Don't bother.
Yeah.
But a sign would probably,
Do we have a flyer or do we need one?
Can we print, are you printing some out for any other purpose?
No, but I can.
You have a colored printer?
Yeah, I have a color printer, and it works. It wasn't working, I wasn't
I don't
getting any
mind going to
magenta.
Staples to do it, but it would cost us.
Eh,
I have a color printer.
I have a copy printer, I can print
I'll
it.
come up and
Okay.
get some copies and distribute them. Pizza Palace, where else?
Post office.
Post office.
Uptown
The
Market.
little restaurant.
Oh, yeah, Uptown Market. Giacomo's,
Yes, Yakimo's.
Stars and Stripes,
yeah,
maybe.
okay, so maybe 10
Hmm.
copies.
That's plenty.
Six. I go with 6.
We might think of others.
Fair enough.
The Slade Building, probably not.
Oh,
Maybe.
Yeah,
Seniors
the
might
senior
have-
center.
Seniors might have
Yeah.
grandkids. that
Oh,
are-
yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Maybe even one up here with town office.
Mhm.
Yeah, that's right. People returning their census.
Hmm. All right. Any further scholarship news? Any updates, notices from the trustee training orientation?
I don't think so, but I did let MBLC know all of our contact information, so I don't know if anybody's started to get email announcements to the
They already have.
trustees.
Yeah.
They have, at the last meeting, I was explaining, they have two different lists. They have one that we can participate in to get, questions answered or whatever. But there's also one where they just send out things about training or other, kind of administrative things. So hopefully we're all getting those now. If not, if you don't get anything between now and the next meeting, let me know.
And I think we would know because they sent out an email this week about a webinar next Wednesday.
I think I saw that, and I think I
Okay.
got something about, is it trustees-announce?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, okay.
All right. Library lower level renovation working group. How's the RFP? Or
So-
before, yeah,
Yeah.
you take in your order.
So I sent an email to Travis to talk to him about our draft RFP, like the scope of work that we had, and asked him if he can help us get it into RFP format. He and I had a phone call briefly, and he was going to look to see if the town had any templates for an RFP format. I sent him the one that we did for the brick pointing, so he had an example. And I also sent him the one that the town of Waltham did for their library renovation. So those were two that were in it looked like state kind of contract language RFP format. I sent an email to him today just to follow up to see if he's been able to make any progress on it. But when I did talk to him, I talked to him about some of the outstanding issues we have of the mold, the cabinet with all the wiring in it, and the wall, right? And whether or not that can come down. And he's like, well, you shouldn't send out the RFP until you have all those three things resolved. So I'm hoping these things can work in a parallel track, that, we can work on getting the RFP, even if we have to tweak it, the scope of work a little bit at the end, but at least get it so that when we get those other three issues resolved, we can just post. I know you've talked to Mass
Historical
Historical.
Commission. Found out that the person that I was trying to reach was not the person that we were supposed to talk to. I now have the person that I'm supposed to talk to, and I spoke with him because he was very available. And he explained that he just needs pictures of what we're looking to do, So we're gonna use the draft RFP to give them an indication of what work we're looking at and a brief cover letter stating what it is that we're attempting to do. So I worked on a cover letter. I will send that out to you guys for review, along with the pictures that I have taken of downstairs of the affected areas that we're going to be dealing with. And I'll attach the RFP so that you guys can all take a gander at that. When you guys say okay, I will send that off to the gentleman at the Historical Commission and let them work it out. They're not asking for an actual, I think it's a PNF, which is an actual application. Once we get through all of this, I think that's when we start to address that section of that, which is what they did with the roof. When they did the roof, they had to send a whole packet to them, which was a lot more official than what this gentleman is suggesting that I do for now. As far as the cabinet, I have taken pictures again, and there's lines from Bell Atlantic in there. I reached out to the senior center and the police department asking them, do they still use any of these lines in here? Is there internet here? And I got a response from the police department that they don't think that there's anything in there that they use, and I have not heard from the senior center.
We cut them and then they'll call.
Yes, so I am going to reach out to Verizon and say, hey, come out and take a look at all of this, but I wanted to get, if I didn't hear back from the senior center by this week, I'm calling them, I'm calling Verizon and saying, this is what I need, so hopefully I can get somebody out to take a gander at it.
Thank you.
You're welcome. But that'll be done next week.
And then you said we haven't heard about the insurance yet.
And I have
right?
not heard from the insurance, I have not heard any information about the insurance, and now that Tricia is solely working for the library, I'll reach out to Sean and ask him if he has any idea.
So, I mean, that's kind of where we're at. Like, we just have these couple of roadblocks that we're trying to get over.
I hear you. Yep.
So, I'm sorry, with this Mass Historical Commission, you're gonna get together the information they asked for, and you're gonna send it to us before you submit it? Is that
Well,
what
I'm
you're
gonna
saying?
send, yeah, because
Oh.
I want to make sure that the cover letter states what you guys want me to state
Hmm.
to them, you know, because words are important, and I'm fairly plain spoken, so sometimes wordsmithing by somebody else is really good.
I think it's fine, I just wanted to make sure I had
Yep.
the process, but so, once, like, we can just do that separately and then send
Yeah.
you feedback and then you'll submit it? Okay.
I mean, all the trustees are on the same page of that's
Yeah.
the process by which we should go, so it should be, we don't need any further discussion, it's
Yeah,
just a matter of
okay.
wordsmithing and
Okay, great.
proceed.
Does the town have a building inspector again, yet?
If I recall correctly, the last select board meeting I watched, they are in process of trying to contract with a company that does building inspections. They work with a couple of towns already that have very positive references. They really like this company. This guy is trying to set it up so that he and his his employees would do the work instead of having one person for each town. I don't know if it has been, if that contract has been signed, but they are actively looking for one, and that's the one that they seem to be leaning towards.
Do we need to get them to sign off on the RFP or anything?
It would assist us in having, it was recommended in my understanding to have a building inspector come and lend eyes to the lower level.
Mhm.
Is that your intent, and is that where you are?
Well, I just wondered what happened. The one they had that worked in Worcester was really helpful, but he disappeared before we could get his
Go
name
for
on
it.
a piece of paper.
Yeah.
Perhaps the new one would.
So they need to sign off on it? Or we don't know?
Well, ultimately, we'll need a building permit
Mhm, mhm.
and an occupancy permit.
Wouldn't the general contractor pull the building permit?
He could. If we did it early, we could determine the permissive to take down the wall. We wouldn't have to wait for the contract. We could get the building inspector to say, okay.
But we have to have the historical commission say, okay, first.
Yeah, there's several that have to say, okay.
So we need their okay before we can start the work.
There are a few,
I
yeah.
think so,
Yeah.
yeah.
Okay.
Any updates for CIPC? That's just standing as well. I didn't anticipate any. And then moving into the group of having financial trusts, town awarded funds, what is currently separate was the grant opportunities being its own item. And this was up for discussion, should we add the grant opportunities to financials trust, town awarded funds? But right now, it's just the standing items of town has been awarded funds. The first floor rehab, which we kind of discussed, and I almost feel like formatting on this, that we could almost strike the first floor rehab because we have the working group, and that's where that
Well,
would
the
go.
first floor rehab is that legacy grant.
Oh.
It's
Keep
it's
thinking.
confusing. It's really the main floor, right?
I'm going to main first floor.
It's on the,
It's me, it's the lower level basement, first floor,
it's
it's
the
just wording for
CPC
me.
first floor rehab 2021, right?
Yeah.
Mhm.
And we've already discussed the pointing quote. Is there further within financial? And then standing, this was for review and for discussion, it's coming up still. I thought we still had time until March of the municipal ADA improvement grant. It's not open yet.
I didn't have a chance to really look at it.
Well,
I
it's just
can, I
keeping
just
in the
wanna
back
get
of our
this one
mind
done.
because it still says will open spring of 2026, but it's
Okay.
not open as of yet.
Okay.
But keeping it there in our mind.
Mhm.
It looks like it opens May 1st,
Oh,
and then it closes June, oh wait, never mind.
Is that
This
last
is all,
year's?
this is all 2025, my bad.
Yeah.
So, sorry about that.
No,
I was
that's
reading
all right.
wrong.
But it could be very, very similar dates.
Mhm.
There's often a time when you can ask questions, and then the grant opens.
yeah.
And once the grant is opened, they can't answer your questions anymore.
Mm.
So you gotta get in a little bit early.
So perhaps as homework for trustees of just kind of get familiar with that grant opportunity in preparation for discussion in March and review.
Doesn't it say on their website, the FY '26 grant application period has closed?
No, 2026 is opening and it will open in
For
the spring of
27.
26 for 27.
Yeah.
The fiscal year 27.
Yeah.
All right. Friends of the Library update?
So there's still, we're trying to get a meeting together of all the people who are interested. Whitney has talked to an employee at the credit union in town about opening up a checking account for the Friends. So there's like a little bit of movement on that, of just trying to get a checking account set up so you start depositing money. It's still unclear to me where they're at with the state of Massachusetts and the IRS on reestablishing the 501c3.
I could be
So-
wrong, but you kind of, in the past, you want to have that, like, the board of organization.
Mhm.
And you'll want to have signers and authorized signers go to the credit union to open the
Yep.
checking account. So it's great to start the discussion, but
Yeah.
that's kind of key to get those names.
Mhm.
And once you get the names and the organization set up, I think everything will fall into
Yep.
place.
So they were gonna try and have a meeting this week, but I didn't see any announcement. Or they tried to do it, I think the week that we got the big snowstorm.
Mhm.
And then Whitney asked for dates for this week, but I didn't see anything come out for
I
it.
hear that
so.
temperatures are supposed to fall into the 30s next week, so maybe we'll all start warming up.
Yeah, exactly.
If you get through this weekend, they're supposed to be single digits.
Yeah.
Yeah, negative single digits.
Yeah. Well, negative single digits is better than negative double digits, you know?
I got up
That's
very
true.
early and had to drive to Worcester and went down the hill. My car thermometer read -13.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
Huh.
That was on the inside.
Yep.
Moisture.
It felt like that when I was driving to work last week. It was like -8, so in my car, and I mean that was with wind chill. But it was cold.
So fun.
I'm bringing my car in next week to the dealer because I'm telling them it doesn't warm up. And they're laughing. No, it's not going to warm up this winter. It just doesn't.
So, one of the last like standing ones is items not anticipated that are brought up. I threw into the agenda where it seemed to fit of Monday's issue being kind of in conjunction with others, and that's how I would like to do so that we're not, revisiting, even though we had to do that. But are there other things that I missed or that have come up since pulling together the agenda?
This is more like an announcement. I don't know.
Yeah.
Okay. So, yesterday, Congress passed a series of spending bills that included an increase in federal funds for libraries in fiscal year 2026.
26 or
So-
27?
I would hope.
This year, right now.
Oh, okay.
So they, so this is good because there were big cuts. So they
Mhm.
restored some money. I could pass this around if you want.
So does
Um,
that mean restored through June?
This is, I don't know.
No,
I think they go
they're-
October to.
Yeah, their fiscal year is
federal, yeah,
September 30.
Yeah. But in any case, you know, this is really good news because this Institute of Museum and Library Services is a big umbrella group that funds the state groups like MBLC and MLS, and that's how, you know, the funding gets down. So this is really good news. They restored money, and they also, it says provided level funding for some other things, so that's really good. I was working at Quinsigamond Library the other day, and, you know, they had to cut a bunch of databases, you know, and like, wait, this is what the student needs, you know, it's just not there. But maybe some of that will be coming back, and, you know, it'll affect us too. So anyway, I just thought it affects us. Maybe they'll be able to have more building grants and things like that in the future. So it says to write your Congress people and thank them, so that's the other piece.
Well done. All right. I will make a call for agenda items, but if there's nothing else further anticipated, a call to adjourn the meeting. With our next meeting actually should be held March 5th. I'm saying it should be, we are down to just this meeting room availability at this time. And so depending on other hesitancies. But I have requested a recurrence of library trustee meeting every Thursday, so that should be standing. But I just want to let you guys know there may be some unforeseen. So the next meeting is set for March 5th at 7. Motion to adjourn? Motion. Second. All in favor? Aye.